This is the brand new redesigned Paulk Smart Router Fence. In this video, I'm going to build it from start to finish. So when we're all done, we'll have another one exactly like this. The redesign is for the brand new Paulk Smart Router Table Gen 2 and the Paulk Smart Dual Router Table. So all three plans are brand new and they're available for purchase and download. Link in the description of the video down below. This fence, just like you see it, with all its adjustability, is made with exactly what you see here. There's actually only one piece of material, an 18mm piece of plywood, and not that big, and this hardware. Instead of printing the plans, which I haven't done in a number of years, I have a copy of them on my iPhone, and it's here with me all the time, so I can zoom in. And these old eyes, I can see all the details and the sizing and everything that I need. So much more efficient. These three identical ripped pieces, I ripped the fence and then I started a kerf for the base and the sub fence. The reason I went ahead and put the kerf where it's going to be ripped in was just so I'd have a reference point to find where the actual center of the pilot hole for the hole saw that I'm going to use to make that cut. They're a little bit long. So I went off of one side, my good side, and I got the center point from there. So if I measure this way, it'd be a bit longer. But again, those will be cut to length. In fact, I'll make a mark so that I will know the edge, the keeper edge, when I go to the miter saw. These larger hole saws can really be a monster. They can get away from you and they can hurt your wrist. It's best to have a larger drill like this one and have the handle on it. I don't have the handle on it right now, but what I do instead is I will come in really close and put it against my body so that the way it's turning, it's already pushing, so it can't get away from me. As with most drill bits, especially hole saws, I'll have the pilot go all the way through and not the saw itself, and then I'll come back in from the other side just so I get a clean cut on both sides. Now I can go back to the table saw and finish the rip. The overall length on all three pieces is identical, but optionally you can make the fence itself a little bit longer because we're going to be cutting it in half and cutting 45s in the middle, which is going to take away some material. So you can see on the first one I made here, when I flush them to the outside, you can see that the middle doesn't quite touch. Not critical, I can just push it in. But because I know about this, I'm going to go ahead and add to this one so that when I build this next one, when they're flush to the ends, it'll actually be touching in the middle. So I'm going to leave the fence portion about 10mm long. Before I cut it in half, I want to mill it up completely. So I will cut this dust channel and also the T-track and the holes and everything will be set up. Table saw with the blade set all the way down, about the width of the blade and about the depth to be about the same. So it'll be like 3mm by 3mm. Not really critical. You just want a space there when you're routing and stuff that the dust won't pile up against the fence and force your material away, changing your cut a little bit. At this point, the base and the sub fence are identical, but now they're going to start to diverge as I mill them up. So I'm going to label them so I don't confuse them. Setting up the T-track cutter is really simple. I haven't figured out exactly how I want it with my 6mm left in the top for strength. And I cut it into this block. I did both bits. So I have the clamp version and the hex head version. And so all I have to do is invert it, get the bit close, and then dial it in. So I've already done that. To cut this closed slot is really kind of easy. I've made this mark here and here at the start and the end, the start and the end. and I'll be able to just plunge in, push it through, and lift. And these cross marks, when they line up with the center of the fence, that should be about where I want to start and stop. After erasing all the pencil marks, giving it a quick sand, I put a bevel around all the edges just to soften it up. A little wood glue for longevity. Getting close. I have 3 more pieces to cut out of what's left over. This will create the bit guard, protects you from touching it on the back side accidentally, but it also doubles as a vacuum port. So we'll drill a hole in it that'll fit a vacuum hose. For the vacuum hole, the plan calls for 1 3/4 inch hole to be drilled. That fits this hose. It's a pretty typical size. But if you want to use the larger 2 1/4 or a smaller hose, just measure whatever size hose you have that you want to use with your router table and drill it to that size. If you change your mind later, I didn't glue this. They're just 3 screws. You just remove the screws, mix yourself a new one, and drill it to the size you want to use then. Since I left the fence a little bit long, I found the center mark on the sub fence, and I flushed it to one side and made a mark. Now I'm going to flush it to the other side and make a second mark. This mark is where I want the outside Did you catch my mistake? I assembled the base upside down. The holes I've drilled out on the bottom are for storing the router bits. The question is it worth disassembling it and flipping it over, or just drilling new holes? So there's proof of how strong wood glue holds. It hasn't even been an hour and it's already rock solid. I think I'm gonna just drill new holes. Now let's go see if it fits. Dual router fences on the dual router table. This thing will be a production beast. If you want to get yourself a detailed set of plans to build the router fence, the dual router table, the new Gen 2 router table, all three of those plans are up and available for purchase and download right now. They're brand new. You can also pick up any of the other smart tools, the Smart Station, the Smart Bench, or the Smart Woodshop itself. Mahalo for hanging out with me in the Smart Woodshop.